Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 528. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hello, everybody.
What's up, Scott?
One more day, and I get this haircut.
There you go, man. I'm getting a haircut, too. Freaking Saturday. I can't wait. This thing is ridiculously long.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to finally talk about it. We're going to talk about my favorite... We're going to talk about my favorite subject, one of my favorite subjects, Godzilla. So, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so we reported this in the last podcast too, but we kind of want to expand on it.
Yeah.
The rumor that Godzilla and Shin Gojira / Godzilla Resurgence, the rumor that he was going to have 3 forms throughout the movie has pretty much been debunked at this point.
I figured it would.
Yeah, so unfortunately, or fortunately for some people, the first design that we've seen of this new Godzilla 2016 is probably what we're getting throughout the whole movie. And I have to admit, this kind of knocked the wind out of this for me. Because I was excited when I heard 3 forms. I was like, oh, I can accept that being his first form. And they said by the end of the movie he'll look like a normal Godzilla. That's cool. It's a great idea. That's really creative. Now that that's not happening, it's like, what do I have to look forward to with this movie?
I guess my opinion of it is, I kind of feel like I just found out that the villain of Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, is the Nuclear Man with Gene Hackman's voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know if I want to have the poster on my wall. It's like...
I think I can wait for video for that to one.
The eye looks like a candy from a 25-cent machine that you probably bought in, like, if it was arts and crafts, it was like a little dot. I mean, the eye is so... Here's the thing, okay? I understand that these movies are fantasy or whatever, not real, right? But common friggin' sense. How the F could he see with an eye that's like this big?
Yeah,
And he's like effing 300 feet tall. How the F could he see out of a little eye like that? He would constantly be crashing and banging into stuff. You have to have, what's the word, symmetrical?
Yeah. At least one the size of a bulb, of a light bulb.
Like, seriously.
It's got to be proportionate to his size.
Yeah.
Please. I mean...
Or an ostrich eye.
Like, if you don't know it, research it. Like, you can't just design something that makes no sense. Okay? So, the eye doesn't have it for me. It's crap. Another thing, right? Technically, he should have nice friggin' spikes on his back. Okay? I'm talking long spikes. Now, if the radiation coming out of him to form the lava burst or whatever it is, right? And if it kind of chisels away the spikes regenerate and they grow back, whatever, right? You can't do it with little spikes. So little spikes to me.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid. You have something like this out of your back. Now I can understand. Granted, I can understand when he probably just used maybe some of his energy, and that's as big as they were because they probably got sheared off. But by the time he uses the next time, they should be at least...
They regenerate.
Yeah, by that.
I remember seeing a Godzilla thing where he used so much temperature that the thing's melting on his back.
That was burning Godzilla, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I guess when everything was done, it was all regenerated, or I guess it was the sun or whatever it was. But Destroyer, right?
Well, to kind of go off your point there, the spines with this Godzilla, and I think this has been confirmed, I'm not entirely sure, they are actually pretty big on this Godzilla from what we've seen, and they have a cool feature. This is one of the only things I like about this design, is that his spines are pretty big. They're based off of the Heisei series, which is like they have like a maple leaf kind of design.
Ooh, cool.
the cool new feature with these is he has an artery that runs through each of the spines.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, so apparently when his spines light up, the artery is gonna glow, and it's gonna
Oh,
cause the rest of it to glow. Now I was like, that's a cool idea. The problem is, though, this is what I'm worried about. One, how is this Godzilla going to be able to use his atomic breath when his body is falling apart?
Right.
So I'm thinking this is what's going to happen. Either he's only going to use it once,
Oh.
or it's going to be completely lackluster, and it's going to be like a mist or something like the original Gojira, which I'm going to get hated for this. I know I am. But the original Gojira's atomic breath, I never liked it. I was always like, what? What does it do? It's a mist. Okay. I'm a fan of the plasma burst that the Heisei Godzilla does.
Yeah,
I
I
just
like
think
that.
it looks better. I think the sound that it makes is cool, and I just think that the way that he fires it, where he drags it on the ground first and then he aims it up as kind of like a way to like make his opponent go, is he aiming at me? And then it hits them. Even the legendary Godzilla, I love how it's like a concentrated
I like his personality, like when he was with Jet Jaguar and Megalon and it's like you doing his dance, and like he was kind of not fully. He was like a different species. He wasn't just like dinosaur thing. He was like almost humanish, whatever. And I liked that he just was you could look at that Godzilla and you could say, okay, this is the freaking good guy. There's no way he's the bad guy. He cares about mankind. He cares about whatever. He's the champion, the king of all monsters. And I would be satisfied. And then, of course, I did like the Heisei series where they brought in Space Godzilla, and I didn't like certain things like Biollante. Was that part of that too, or not really?
Yeah, I love Biollante.
I hate Biollante, that movie. Hate it because I thought this was whatever. But anyway, I like that look and the music. They had different type of da 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 da. They had different variations of stuff, and it was really cool with the baby and everything. And so I like that. Now, the 2014 Godzilla, I had a problem that Godzilla looked like he had a weight problem. He looked like a fat, lazy.
There was a thing on.
I was just like,
did it, but they were showing how with each consecutive movie he seemed to get fatter and fatter and fatter.
I was not happy with the design that he got fat. I didn't like that, and I didn't even buy any action figures on it. But I had a problem even with the American one where the hands are like this little.
Oh.
It's like the hands are like, what are you going to do with that?
The one that looked like a lizard, like a...
what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with this?
Well, that's another issue. That's actually, even people who like this new design, there's a picture that you... Actually, I think I have it. There's a picture where you can see this new Godzilla's hand and its arm.
Right.
And I beg the question, why does he have arms at all? Like that's how bad they are. You can kind of.
I have the bank somewhere that have the whole of that one. I don't know where it is, but.
Well, let me find this other picture. But there's another issue I'm having that I'm hoping that they don't do this. I have a very funny feeling that this Godzilla is not going to be able to move very well.
Oh,
because if he's like falling apart and like apparently the muscles on his thighs are exposed.
I'm gonna go get the thing. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm telling you, this Godzilla is gonna be. I mean, I may be wrong, but I just have this idea that he's just gonna be like fumbling all over himself because like he's literally falling apart. Like there's nothing to hold him together, and there's so much about this that I just don't like. But
that's when they should have kept with the original idea of him regenerating.
Yes.
If they have 3, then at least have 2.
Yes, agreed.
2 versions. Because I remember, geez, how old was I? Oh, sweet.
So like,
The old doll of mine, which I think it was about 12 or 13.
but again,
Oh.
his hand, and then
He hit a button.
don't mind he's dusty, but like the hands in here were big, but in the movie they weren't that big. You know, it's like, oh, okay. You know, okay, continue because I'm.
That version of Zilla was like that didn't happen. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
really
they
weird.
panned that one.
All right, so I have this picture here. This is actually another image of the Shin Gojira suit. This is from it's from like a Dutch angle, or for those of you who don't know what that is, it's it's an upshot angle, and usually you use this in movies to give people or something authority over something. I don't know if this is a shot from the movie. I doubt it is, but you get to see there's a weird thing they're doing with this Godzilla where he's got something coming out of his chest. And you can see his arm, and I'll just screen share it now, because really I can't really say much more. But you'll see what I mean with the arm. So this is it.
Oh,
Now that's his arm there.
that's terrible.
That's his hand. Now if you look to the right of that, there's something coming out of his
Yeah.
chest.
It's like a spike.
Yeah, it's like what? Like
Is he regrowing an arm?
I don't know, you know.
What
And
they did with Swamp
look at how
Thing
small
after
that
his
arm
got-
is, though.
His arm got cut off.
That's too small.
Form and
It's too small. Who does these things? Like, I mean, we've never had this is really screwed up.
I
Maybe
will
they
say
do
this
something
though
like
about
they
this.
did with Swamp Thing when he cut his arm cut off. You
Yeah.
see the twig form, and then the rest of the arm forms.
I will say this though. This is probably the best picture of the face. Like here, it doesn't look so bad, but then you see that arm, and it's just like, what's happening here? Like, what is going on with this design?
What are you talking about? Give me more. Give me more. Give me more.
I don't even know. I hope the movie's good. Like, it sounds good.
More.
When are we gonna have the movie? When does it come out?
It comes out July 29th in Japan.
So we'll have it too, right?
It'll leak online because the two movies that they made, Attack on Titan 1 and 2, or parts 1 and 2, those leaked online like a day later. And something I want to say about that too, somebody made a really, really good point. Actually, two good points. The special effects in Attack on Titan are apparently the exact same special effects that they're using in this movie, which was a combination of a suit and CGI. And the suits look awful, but with the CGI, they look amazing. Right?
Really?
You got to see some of the scenes of that movie. The Titans are freaking scary. And that led into somebody else's point. This Godzilla, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Attack on Titan or if you know anything about it.
I've watched maybe a couple episodes. That's all.
Right.
It's a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said it's an anime, but they made a movie out of it.
Oh, okay.
They said that this Godzilla looks like one of the Titans from Attack on Titan.
Ooh.
And it actually does, because there's excuse me. There's a Titan in Attack on Titan called the Colossal Titan, whose entire body is without a top layer of skin. He's completely just muscle.
Yeah,
And
muscle.
skeleton. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, they didn't like have this idea that like this Godzilla is just like inspired by that, right? Because that doesn't work for Godzilla. It works for Attack on Titan, but that's a new medium. You can do whatever you want with that. With Godzilla, you do this and it's like, why?
Right.
There was some people got a little bit upset with the Attack on Titan thing because they've got two of the characters. I forget their names off the top of my head. They're kissing, and like they're more love interests than they are buddy. I don't remember who it is off the top of my head.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Like let me try to find a picture of what I mean by the special effects. Special effects look really good. And the way they move, they're really scary. Like they look really terrifying. Yeah, this is a good shot, and you'll see what I mean here. Because this is a picture of, I think, the female Titan
Let's see.
fighting another one. This is from the movie that these two guys made. So this is what they did right before.
Where is it?
I got it right here. Right before they did Godzilla. All right, I'm sharing it now. You see that?
Oh crap!
Ooh.
Now, call me crazy, but doesn't some of this look like Godzilla's skin?
Yes, it
The
does.
design? I don't
Wow,
know.
that's really good.
Yeah. So that looks great, and if it's moving, it's so much better. But I don't know. That's just me.
Wow. Wow. What about the feet? What about the chest? I mean, are they doing anything to the chest to counteract the blast? I mean, is that what they're doing?
To tell you the truth, nothing about the atomic breath has been confirmed. We know what his feet look like. That was the first thing we ever saw about this Godzilla. They work. I think the feet look cool. I mean, I don't really care what Godzilla's feet look like, to tell you the truth, as long as the rest of the design looks good. And
this doesn't affect. I'm sorry. This doesn't affect the release of our Godzilla in the States, right?
No, not at all, as far as I know. Like I said, I think that by default this movie's going to be moderately successful because fans of the genre are going to say, wow, this is the first movie that Toho's made of Godzilla in 12 years. So they're gonna watch it. The problem I'm having though is if the reception to it is not as good as the legendary Godzilla, how does Toho go about this? Because I don't understand. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. I don't understand this like competitive mentality that Toho has with this American Godzilla. They gave them the rights to do it, so why are they pissed off that it did well?
Right.
I don't understand that. Even if they're not pissed off.
Be expecting.
Yeah.
It is, and it's going to be. It's like, ooh, why can you not make one that's as good as the American version?
And that's a weird statement, right?
Why are you giving the Americans this awesome looking Godzilla, and you're giving us this bleh
Right.
one?
Even if Toho's not pissed off, they have this weird thing where they're like, well, we're gonna one up Hollywood. Why? They just made a really successful Godzilla movie. They're getting 2 sequels, possibly 3. Why are you mad? Like, I don't understand that. Because you didn't do it? So what? You've got a series that's lasted for over 60 years. You did something right.
Right. I don't know, dude. Don't know. Did you want to stick with Godzilla, or
I pretty much
we're done with
kind
Godzilla?
of Godzilla'd out with this one. Like this, I'd love to talk about it if the design was great, but this one I'm kind of like I don't care anymore. Like,
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it at all, and now, but I'll see it. But that's not, it kind of went on my.
Theaters, or will you wait till come on?
It went all the way down right now, and I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I think I'm missing a couple movies, but that's it. I had them all, used to have them all on VHS, but still trying to get the DVDs or whatever. All right, on that note, that's gonna be it for this Everything Show. We'll be back with more. Take care, bye for now.